Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Charles Ling reveals his surprising other life. Charles Ling easily became a fan favorite on the inaugural season of the Golden Bachelorette. He was shy at first but curious and very witty. More than that, he was warm and endearing, so everyone, including his mansion mates, gravitated toward his generous spirit. Now, out of the mansion and back to his day-to-day, Charles is revealing his surprising other life. Keep reading for more details. Charles Ling on his many talents. When Charles Ling arrived at the Golden Bachelorette mansion, fans were drawn to him. He was so sweet, they hoped he would stick around until the end. Watching him and Jack Lencioni tour and explore the mansion was an experience. They were so taken aback and impressed with the amenities and offerings, and to see it through their eyes was a real treat for viewers at home. Some noted they could watch a whole show of just them exploring the mansion. Charles even ventured out with Gary Livingston to buy sleeping aids for their housemates. It was a real struggle to sleep with 24 men in one home. They would snore and use the bathroom all night, so Charles and Gary attempted to make it easier. Unfortunately, Charles was eventually sent home, but the experience helped open his heart up. He had tragically lost his wife and felt he had no closure, so this gave him so much more than he bargained for. Now back home, he spoke to the Philly Voice about what has transpired since exiting the show. First off, Charles reflected on meeting Joan Vassos and having no clue what to say to her. They had just 2 minutes to leave a lasting impression, so he was under a lot of pressure, but he chose a reference he thought would help. He had moved to America from China with only $20, but that did not stop him, as he attended grad school at Temple University. Though he has many talents, one that was not shown was how amazing he was in the kitchen. One of the most beloved dishes was his homemade dumplings, which his housemates devoured. Yet, there's so much more. Charles Ling shared what he studied when he was going to graduate school at Temple University. It seemed like he explored a variety of subjects and did not keep himself in a box, as he explained. There was also the matter of how well-spoken and comfortable he was in his Golden Bachelorette confessionals. It helped that he taught and used to give presentations at his job, but he's also a team player. Along with Mark Anderson, the two would whip things up in the kitchen. They would make whatever their housemates wanted, as Charles recalled. He is still close with his mansion men. They have a group chat and are hopeful to travel together at some point. Now that would make for great television. In the glamorous world of the Golden Bachelorette, viewers have come to expect heartfelt moments, romantic sparks, and the occasional dose of drama. What they don't expect, however, is for one of the suitors vying for Joan Vassos' heart to reveal an entirely different life waiting for him outside the mansion. Enter Charles Ling, the 67-year-old gentleman with the silver hair and infectious laugh, whose suave demeanor and poetic charm captivated Joan and the audience alike. But behind his warm smiles and sunset serenades lies a secret life that has left fans utterly speechless. The revelation heard around Bachelor Nation. It all began during the most recent cocktail party, where the mood was light, and the champagne, known for his calm presence, appeared unusually fidgety. Joan noticed his unease and pulled him aside to check in. "Are you okay, Charles?" she asked softly, her deep brown eyes searching his face for answers. He hesitated for a moment before taking a deep breath. "Joan, there's something I need to share with you. It's important you know the full me before we go any further." The air grew thick with anticipation as Charles began to explain. With each word, the room seemed to fall quieter, the other contestants slowly gravitating toward the scene. "I've been living 2 lives," he admitted, his voice steady but laced with vulnerability. "The Charles you see here is just one part of who I am. Outside of this, I'm an opera singer. And not just any opera singer, I perform under a stage name, Vincenzo Amore. Vincenzo Amore takes center stage. Opera singer? The revelation sent shockwaves through the room. For weeks, Charles had been the picture of humility, a retired architect who loved long walks and classic literature. Now, he was revealing a hidden persona, a world-renowned tenor who had graced stages from Milan to Sydney. Joan's jaw dropped. Wait, you're Vincenzo Amore? My sister has a playlist of your performances. She's obsessed with you. Charles chuckled, his cheeks tinged pink. Guilty as charged. I've kept that part of my life separate because I didn't want it to overshadow my time here. But it's who I am, and I realized I can't ask you to love me without you knowing the truth. The other contestants react. If Joan was stunned, the other men were downright flabbergasted. Pascal Ibigi, ever the provocateur, couldn't resist a quip. So, what you're saying is, we've been losing to a guy who sings in Italian for a living. Meanwhile, Chalk Chapel, the laid-back nature enthusiast, seemed genuinely impressed. Man, I thought I was cool for building birdhouses. But opera? That's next level. Yet not everyone was so supportive. Mark Anderson, Charles' fiercest competitor, appeared visibly irritated. This explains why he's been so smooth with Joan, he muttered under his breath. The guy's been serenading her with professional-level charm. Joan's perspective. Joan, for her part, was torn. On one hand, Charles' admission was thrilling. How often does one get courted by an international opera star? On the other hand, it raised questions about his motivations. Was he here for love or for publicity? Could he genuinely settle down, or was he too tied to his jet-setting lifestyle? I need to process this, Joan told him later during their one-on-one time. It's not that I doubt your feelings, but it's a lot to take in. I want to be sure we're on the same page about what the future looks like. Charles nodded, his gaze earnest. I understand, Joan. And I want you to know, I came here for love, not attention. If anything, stepping away from the opera world for this has been liberating. For once, I'm just Charles. A closer look at Vincenzo Amore. As the episode aired, Bachelor Nation dove headfirst into the mystery of Vincenzo Amore. Social media lit up with clips of Charles' performances, from his haunting rendition of Nessun Dorma to his playful take on Largo al Factotum. Fans were quick to connect the dots between his on-screen charisma and his stage presence. He's been serenading Joan all along without us even realizing it, one fan tweeted. Another joked, plot twist, Charles is here to recruit Joan as his new soprano. The origin of Charles' secret life. In a confessional interview, Charles shared more about his double life. Born to immigrant parents in San Francisco as a teenager when a music teacher noticed his remarkable voice. By his mid-20s, he was performing under the moniker Vincenzo Amore, a name chosen to honor his Italian grandmother. I didn't want fame to define me, Charles explained. That's why I kept my personal and professional lives separate. I didn't even tell most of my friends until I retired from architecture. The men question his intentions. Back at the mansion, the revelation created ripples of doubt among the other contestants. Some, like Guy Gansert, believed Charles' confession was genuine. He didn't have to tell us, Guy said. That says a lot about his character. Others, like Mark, weren't so convinced. He's got a built-in advantage, Mark argued. The rest of us are just regular guys. How are we supposed to compete with someone who's literally been trained to sweep women off their feet? Charles' serenade. In a bid to clear the air, and perhaps win Joan's heart once and for all, Charles decided to embrace his identity. During a group date that featured a talent show, he took the stage and introduced himself not as Charles Ling, but as Vincenzo Amore. As he began to sing O Sole Mio, the room fell silent. Even Mark, begrudgingly, had to admit the man had talent. Joan was visibly moved, her eyes glistening as Charles hit the final note. When he finished, the room erupted into applause. "I didn't think I could be more impressed by you," Joan told him later. "But tonight, you showed me not just your talent, but your heart." The path ahead. While Charles' revelation has undoubtedly shaken up the competition, it has also deepened his connection with Joan. Yet questions remain: can he truly leave behind the limelight for a quiet life with Joan? And how will the other men, particularly Mark, react to his rising status as the frontrunner? For now, Charles is taking it one day at a time. "I came here to find love, not to perform," he said in his final confessional of the episode. "But if singing is what helps Joan see the real me, then I'll sing my heart out." The golden finale awaits. As the Golden Bachelorette barrels toward its final episodes, Charles Ling's double life has added a layer of intrigue to an already captivating season. Will Joan choose the man behind Vincenzo Amore's legendary voice? Or will his revelation prove to be too much to handle? One thing's for certain: Bachelor Nation will be watching, and listening, with bated breath.